Welcome everybody to Sharp Bets Fantasy Sets. We are at week 11 and we have a special guest joining us because Sir could not. It's big time Tim Sakura, one of the OGs of Sharp Bets Fantasy Sets. He was here when it started in 2020, so we would have been going on our 5th season if I could rely on them for the last 2 years, but I couldn't. But he's back. Tim, how you doing, man?
Doing well, boys. Doing well, man. Don't adjust that set. It's not 2020. It's 2024, and we're here, baby. Let's ride.
But in your eyes, it is 2020 because the Jets haven't gotten any better, which is wild. So what are you going to do? Then we go to our...
Welcome back.
Yeah. Then we go to the winner of the group here. Mike, how you doing, man?
Whoa.
I meant
think you should...
overall.
Oh, okay.
We all have losing records except Mike.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to this week.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that too, but we will later. All right, Nas, big win there in Chicago, and I'd hate to say it, but your Patriots are looking better than my Cowboys right now. Oh, Jesus. Whipping out his flag. Congratulations. That'll be at a yard sale in 6 years when you move into a house and have nowhere to put it. Enjoy. And me, I'm pretty miserable, as you can tell, but my plan is to lose out. This is the worst season of the Cowboys I think I've had since 2010. This is going to be the first Thanksgiving game coming up that I think they've been out of it this early since 2010, maybe even 20 years. It's just a wild ride for me, but I'm kind of relieved because I know my Sundays are kind of open, but I'm still going to be watching football because I'm a lazy piece of shit. All right, so I do want to start here with our controversial Thursday night game last week where the Bengals just really blew a game that they had no business losing. The fumble just turned the whole game around. Mike, I want to start with you because you were against them going for 2. Why? On the road with 38 seconds left.
So number one, the game was so good from beginning to end. I mean, it was just points everywhere. You know, you ruined the game of you ruined the whole game, like the excitement of the whole game, and come down to the last second, and then you go for 2. I get it if you get it, okay, it's all peachy, but at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson was going to get the ball back whether they got that 2 or not. You know, if you're so afraid of Lamar Jackson, that's why they went for it, right?
I agree with that. Yeah.
If you're so afraid of Lamar Jackson, that's why you go for it. He's going to get the ball back anyway. And that you'd rather leave it to a 50-50 chance that you get the ball first in overtime and score that touchdown to win the game. To me, that doesn't make any sense, specifically for a team who's like eking for a win. Like, they need a win bad.
I have to ask you, and I'll get to you, Nas and Tim. Why would you take a 50-50 chance when you just need 2 yards?
Because Lamar's going to get the ball back with 38 seconds left.
With no timeouts, right?
No, we had timeouts.
But Justin Tucker has not been that good this year.
I'm just saying, if the whole reason you went for it is because you're afraid of Lamar was going to get the ball back regardless of 38 seconds. He can score the ball. He can get you in field goal position in 38 seconds. And I think they had 2 timeouts.
Compelling argument, Nas.
I just feel like with the way the game went, how Baltimore had the momentum at home, Lamar balling out that game, balling out this whole year, getting ready to win his 3rd MVP. I just think you got to.
Wasn't balling out. Joe Burrow balled out the whole game too.
I think you got to go for 2. You can't give him the ball back. You give him the ball back, it's over. 38 seconds, 28 seconds, 10 seconds, 8 seconds, don't matter. So,
you need to calm down with the 8 seconds. Like, that's probably not over. Tim, what do you think? Welcome back. Your first thing, you got to split hairs here.
No problem. No. I was totally for them going for 2. The week before, I think there were 4 instances where it was the exact same scenario: kick the field goal, go to overtime, or go for 2, win the game right there. Every time they kicked, they ended up losing in overtime anyway.
Including Nas's Patriots, who should have went for 2 versus the Titans.
Not college football. This is NFL.
I think, though, here's my opinion. On the road, you go for 2. Like, that's just like a unwritten rule. When you're on the... Like, I get what you're saying, Mike. You don't want to give it... Lamar Jackson's touching the ball. Unwritten rule? But it's still... Okay, here, in real time, I was saying to my wife, if they score, go for 2. So I can't second guess it. And I would have wanted Dallas to go for 2. At Baltimore on a Thursday night when your season's pretty much... Well, now they're still good because the AFC's weak. But, like, I'd rather give Lamar Jackson 38 seconds and your defense make a stop than give him the ball and you might not touch it again. I don't know.
I don't know when that became a thing. I know Staley, when he was with the Chargers, like he would always go for
Well,
it.
that guy was an idiot.
I know, but when did that become a thing?
I think that's been something since we were kids. On the road, go for two, go for the win. It's like bring your closer in at home in a tie game, in baseball.
My biggest thing was all right, if you were against going for two, that's fine. And if you're going for two, why the hell are you throwing it to my man Hudson? Who the hell is that? They have so many other playmakers that you should have targeted, or I don't know. That was my biggest gripe with it. If you're going to go for two, Jamar Chase has got to be the target on that play, at least in my eyes.
I agree.
Well, Mike, is there any, like, if you're playing the Chiefs, are you going for two? Or are you giving Mahomes the ball back? Like this week, let's say this happens.
Are we talking a regular season game?
Yeah. Let's say this happens this week.
I'm kicking the extra point.
Well, what the regular season is? So you're going for two in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Why?
It means a lot more. You know, it's to go to the next playoff game, potentially get to the Super Bowl. You know, we know Mahomes, how he plays in the playoffs. You can't compare Lamar Jackson to Mahomes. That's apples and oranges.
I think a lot of the people that are going for two at the end of the game also are concerned with playing an extra quarter when you technically don't need to, especially in the regular season. More time for people to get hurt. I don't know if that's the reason why you see a lot more teams going for two, but
Well, I think it's also too, line up, go get 2 yards. Like if you at the end of the day, if you can't get 2 yards, you don't deserve to win. I don't know, and they made the play even though like the other guys got held. There should have been like 2 penalties on the play.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it just sucks. The inconsistencies
Horrible.
are fucking terrible here. All right, so we got 3 that would have went for it, and we'll see if the Bills go for 2 in the playoffs and don't get it, and Mike comes back on saying they should have kicked the extra point. Because that's a devastating way not to advance. I'd almost be more
That's happened in the playoffs before, though. That playoff game, I think it was a few years ago. We kept on going for 2. Chiefs went for 2. I went for 2.
Yeah.
Chiefs 2. Bills went for 2. So
I think I would be able to live with myself losing in overtime more in the playoffs than in a regular season game. Like I'd rather lose in over. I'd rather not go for 2 and lose.
well, the overtime rules are different in the playoffs.
They both get the touch.
Remember that. Yeah.
True. Okay. Yeah.
somebody call Sir and let his coach know.
Well, that's also a stupid rule. I'm still old school where you coin toss, defense, offense, first score wins. That's just me. I know it ended up late.
Tom Brady changed the rules, so did Josh Allen. 2 goats.
Yeah, true. Even though Josh Allen, Joe Burrow was in the same predicament the week later, and someone on the Bengals defense made a play and intercepted Patrick Mahomes, and they went to a Super Bowl. So, just saying. Sorry, Mike. All right, so really quick, let's touch on this because Nas brought it up, and this is just random here. Lamar Jackson, MVP. Do you think this is a case where it's going to be like LeBron and where they're just going to get tired of giving it to him? And it's weird because he might win 4 MVPs, but it's like he's still not going to get the respect. Nas, do you agree with that?
Oh, this is like every week. Every week.
So is this going to be a case where they just don't give it to him because they have to give it to someone else at some point?
Yeah, I think so. Eventually, they got to give it to Josh Allen. Eventually, you got to give it to somebody else. He's been winning. He's going to win it. He won it last year. He's going to win it this year. But we got to get some wins in the playoffs to shut everybody up. Once we get some playoff wins and a Super Bowl appearance, Super Bowl win, we can shut everybody up.
It's still weird, Mike, right? Because like even if he wins another MVP, it's just even though he played amazing, there's still something about him you're just not worried about. Right, Mike? It's like, we'll beat him.
Yeah, I mean, we have their number. The Bills do. I mean, I know they beat us this year, but I mean, you can't. I mean, really, voting for an MVP, a guy who lost to the Browns and the Raiders, that's kind of dark.
Oh my god!
Pretty fair. That's a fair statement here, Tim.
Oh
I mean, listen, if he's got the numbers, his team has the most wins, you know it's going to go to the quarterback. It's just the way of the world right now. So
does he not deserve it?
He deserves it.
Stats say he deserves it.
Does he, Mike? Does he deserve it?
I mean, it's an argument. I mean, it's not a slam dunk. I mean, it's definitely debatable.
Well,
Still a lot of football left.
all right, okay.
That's all. I mean, it's just going to go to a quarterback, which sucks because you could argue Derrick Henry could even be an argument, you know.
I think he won Offensive Player of the Year, though.
But what really bothers me is just really quick to touch on it. When Lamar Jackson rushes for touchdowns, he rushes for touchdowns. I'm sick of this. Jalen Hurts has 40 rushing touchdowns the last 3 years. No, he doesn't. They push him into the end zone from half a yard out. That doesn't count as that just goes to show you stats to an extent don't mean shit. Because if you watch the games, they're not rushing touchdowns. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, they have rushing touchdowns. This whole fucking that's why Jalen Hurts can't win MVP in my mind. Because if you put up the numbers, it's oh my god. But if you watch the game, it's like, does that even fucking count at this point? Am I going crazy here, Mike? Or am I
No, I mean, I agree with that. I don't think Jalen
okay?
Hurts will ever win an MVP, but yeah, I mean, it was skewed. It's just like adding steroids to the Barry Bonds era.
Good point. Tim?
I don't know, man. He's still scoring touchdowns.
Tim's all about stats. That's all. Nas, what do you think? Am I crazy here?
I agree. It's getting boring after a while. Like, because now you bring in Saquon, and then when you get to the 1 yard line, like, just turn around and hand them the ball. But they run that. That shit's annoying. It's really
Yeah,
annoying.
luckily it got stopped last year in the playoffs, which ruined them. All right, Jets, Tim. I think all of us are actually in shock. Like that they had a better record at this point last year with Zach Wilson and Timmy Boyle. Like it doesn't make sense.
It's
Like,
very, very, very difficult to be a Jets fan.
and I
I'll
want
tell
to
you
know
what.
because you weren't in the beginning of the show. Even Mike said if all things fall into place, the Jets will win the division week one when we did this show. It doesn't look like it's happening.
Boy, have
Like
they
what?
fallen out of place.
What? Like as a Jets fan, what was your thought going into this year, and like where you're at now?
The thought was we were going to win the division. There was no doubt about it. We got Aaron Rodgers back. Team's healthy. Tried to boost the offensive line. Everything smelling roses. And no, it was definitely the coach's fault until it wasn't. No. We got Devontae Adams now. No, that's not either. It's just Aaron Rodgers is washed, and that's all there is to it. He can't get out of the pocket. It's you put a little pressure. The offensive line stinks. He's got no time, and that's the end of it.
Would you say this is the most depressing year as a Jet fan you've maybe ever had with your expectations being
I
so high?
I will say, though the season's not over, and
Mhm.
barring a miracle, it's rough. It's very, very rough.
Also, your Orioles didn't win a playoff game.
Yeah, they barely scored a run in those playoff games. That shows how important it is not to change topics, but to win the division, get
Mhm.
that bye. Because
And how does it feel that your girl who grew up in Detroit, her Lions are at, did you ever think she'd be in a better place football wise than you as a Lion fan?
no, but at this point, I'm not surprised by anything anymore, brother.
Oh, this
Oh, it's
makes
bad.
me this
It's bad.
this makes
Bad
me
time to be
happy.
Tim. Bad time to be
It
Tim.
makes me happy. Good time to be Scott and bash Tim. Nas, where do you go if you're the Jets here? Like, are you done with the Aaron Rodgers experiment?
Yeah, it's over. I mean, you got Devontae Adams, you brought him in, nothing's changed. The needle hasn't moved. O line stinks, coaching staff stinks, defense isn't the same what it's been a couple years ago. Well, the last few years, I should say. It's over. I made a bold statement on this show a couple weeks ago. I said the Patriots will not finish last in the division. Now, the Jets and the Patriots are both 3-7. So
That's right.
a lot,
You definitely are gonna finish last though.
a lot of
Mike,
football left, but
Mike, your Jared Goff MVP pick took a dive with his 5 interceptions last week. But enough of that. How do you feel about the Jets? Are they done with Aaron Rodgers? And uh, do you think he should come back next year as a Jet? Or if you're the Jets, you want him gone?
I think the organization is just dysfunctional. I don't think it's just Aaron Rodgers.
I agree.
Woody Johnson's the owner. It starts from the top, and he's really bad. And I honestly think they would have won a few games if they didn't fire Salah. Like the games that Salah would have been there for, I think he won at least one or maybe even two. I think that's where they really screwed up. But yeah, I think Rodgers will come back because they've given everything to him. They're not just going to give up after 1 year. And I think he said today he's definitely coming back next year. So I don't think it's over now. But it's just dysfunctional, very dysfunctional franchise.
Tim, list them 1 through 3. The bigger disappointment for you this year: Greg Zuerlein, Aaron Rodgers, or Sauce Gardner?
Probably Rodgers,
Has to be.
Sauce, then Zerline.
I'll trade contracts with you. Do you take it? I'll give you Dak for Aaron Rodgers 1 year next year. You
Sure.
take Dak for the next two. I'll
Ab-
take Rodgers one
ab-
shot.
absolutely.
Okay. It could happen. Don't count anything out. You can see Jerry just saying, I want Aaron for 1 year. Let's take a shot.
By all means,
Yeah.
take him.
I don't know. Hey, you know what? Dak's handled Dallas. He can handle New York when it comes to football. So we'll see how that works out. Speaking of Dallas, horrible without a quarterback. It is shot. They weren't good anyway. I think this is the best thing for this team. Now, I'm not going to be mad if Dak is the starting quarterback next year. I think that's safe. It is what it is. I do think with the way Russell Wilson moved, some other contracts moved, I wouldn't be shocked if Jerry Jones tries to find a buyer and they draft a quarterback. I think it's a whole revamp. Mike McCarthy's going to be fucking gone. Back to the Deion thing, though. People have been talking. I was saying this before all these pundits on television. I think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to make a rush for Deion Sanders and try to draft his son, Shador. If they could fall in a top 4 pick, I do think Deion could do something to block that, like I said, with Eli getting blocked by his dad. I do want to start with Mike, though. Do you think it's actually a possibility that Deion will leave Colorado?
It depends. If he wants to me, I don't think so because he wants to be the next Nick Saban. Like he wants to have all the big recruits coming to his school. He wants to be the next, big shot on campus when it comes to just like getting everybody like Alabama did, before Saban retired. So I don't think he leaves, but with Jerry Jones and his relationship with Deion, I think they have a pretty good relationship. I think it's possible, but I wouldn't rule it out. But I would lean no, that there's no way he leaves.
I'll get to Tim last. Nas, you're a Deion guy, and I think part of the reason is your heart would hurt if you had to root for the Cowboys.
No, I mean, like I said before, just same thing what Mike said. Nick Saban retired. Deion Sanders has college footballs in his palms right now. Like he really runs it. So I don't think that I don't think so.
Tim.
I mean, I don't know what he's going to do, but I would think is like a person, if they want college football in their hands, wouldn't they also want the NFL, like take over the NFL with the Dallas
Go back to
Cowboys
college, right, Tim?
and the big star, most popular franchise in sports type of deal?
I agree with that. And here's
Hard to pass up.
Here's what I'm going to say to you, Nas. You say that he wants college football in the palm of his hands.
He has it.
Okay, Colorado's not Alabama. Nobody cares.
That's not true.
Nobody cares.
That's not true at all.
Nobody care. If you become the Cowboys coach, they care. If you're an Alabama, it's great. Nobody's gonna care in Colorado.
They make the playoffs and they make noise. I mean, I would disagree with that. But that's how the playoffs go. But right now, no, I agree with you right now.
Colorado's not Alabama. I'm sorry. It's like being the head coach of college basketball. Like, oh, the head coach of Iowa State, and you run the table. You're not Kansas. You're not Kentucky. You're not Duke. At the end of the day, it's not. You're not going to be Coach K.
You might not care, but other people care.
But not the grand scheme of things. And also, let's not forget he was 4-8 last year.
He was.
All it takes is one more bad 4-9. All it takes is one more bad season. When you're in college, Chip Kelly saw this too. Nick Saban even saw this in 2005. You got to go at your high point. Like when people fucking clamor to get Matt Rule, someone like that, because you might fall off the face of the earth the next year. So
now, are you saying this as a Cowboys fan because that's what you want, or are you saying this as just an overall sports fan?
Both. I'm saying if an NFL team wants Dan to be head coach in the next year, pending on the team, he should go.
Okay.
Plus, isn't this what he wanted though? Like you start up at a small all-black like a HBCU, right? Then you get to a D1 school. Now you work your way up to be an NFL head coach. This is setting a hell of an example.
It makes sense, but all right.
Quick question. What's the difference between the Jets franchise and the Cowboys franchise at this moment?
Not a lot.
Not a lot, right?
I would say the Cowboys have more of an upside just because they have a younger quarterback.
The age?
Yeah. I mean, that's probably it. And they have I hate to say this, they have a more competent owner who actually gets football. He just makes some bad decisions.
Why don't you?
Fair.
Why is McCarthy still your coach?
I think why fire him at this point? And okay, here's why. I think he has his sights set on Deion or Belichick. At this point, why fire him? And let's say he puts an intern there and the guy goes 5-1. All of a sudden, you got in a Rich Bisaccia thing with the the Raiders. Oh, fuck. Now we fire him. We look like assholes. Like, why even risk it? Let him fucking fall off the face of the earth so there's no argument to keep a guy. That's probably why.
Gotcha.
One last thing before we get to our picks. I know John Gruden's name has been circulated mainly with the Jets. Is that possible? Do you think he's coming back, or were those emails those emails are pretty rough? Do you think it's a possibility he will get a third chance here, Tim?
I doubt it. I
agree.
I hope he does. I love John Gruden.
Yeah, I mean, what he said was stupid as shit, and some guy really slimed him by sending those emails. But and that's tough to come back on, man. Nas?
No, I don't think he's coming back. I think that was all BS.
Yeah, I don't know. Some teams are probably interested, but it's going to be whether or not you put up with that stuff. Be ironic.
XY banana.
Yeah, ironic how Kaepernick didn't get a job, but Gruden will come back. Ooh, that'll ruffle some feathers. No, that will. All right, let's get to our picks. Mike, you went 0-3 last week, but you're actually still in first place, 17-12-1. That tie might be the savior. And Nas, you're 17-13, so that tie is keeping Mike in first place. I am, Sir is 14-15-1, so he's catching up. I had a 2-1 week last week. First time I was over 500 in a while. 10-19-1. There's a lot of football games to pick, and I think I can catch up to at least get back to 500.
What did Nas go last week? Nas went 2-1?
Yeah, Nas went 2-1. I'm going to start with
Philly in the ring.
Yeah, because he switched the Philly pick to the Ravens last minute, moron. He'd be in first place if it wasn't for that. I'm going to start with Sir's pick first because he sent them in.
Wait. I'm not Sir?
No, you're not Sir.
What is this about?
You're Tim. Sorry.
I'm trying to help my boy out. Give him a 3-0 week.
No, you're our guest. You're our guest this week. You get your own picks, and if you beat any one of us, I owe you a beer at my bachelor party, which will be in February at Ellery's. You got to be there.
Well, Bells, I'll be there.
There you go. All right, Sir's going with the Jaguars, plus 13 at the Lions. His reasoning, Jags lost 3 straight games, the Eagles, Packers, and Vikings, only by 5 points or less, so good logic there. He's going with Houston, minus 7.5 at Dallas on a Monday night. No Dak, no thank you. Cowboys stink. And he's going with the Scott logic. Never pick against Patrick Mahomes when he's an underdog. He's going with the Chiefs, plus 2 at the Bills. He actually wrote, never bet against Mahomes as an underdog.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
That's Sir's pick. And then we're going to go from the top to bottom here. All right, Mike, go on.
All right, I'm going to go the Dolphins, minus 7 against the Raiders. Gardner Minshew's ass. And I don't know why they were starting him again. They just announced he's a starter again. Dolphins beating the Rams. I think it'll put a little spark on. Maybe they win a few games. They'll still not make the playoffs and probably fire McDaniel after the year. But I do think they will definitely cover minus 7 against the Raiders. I like the Bengals plus. I had them on a plus 2. I don't know what you have, Matt Scott, but I have them
plus 2 is good.
Plus 2. I do think their offense is a lot better than Los Angeles, and Jamar Chase is on another level right now. They really need a win, and I just think their offense is just so much better. They're gonna, I would say they'll definitely. I think they win the game even, for plus 2. And my last pick I'm struggling with, but I'm probably gonna go with. Oh man, that Sir pick kind of screwed me there. I'm gonna go with the Browns coming off a bye. They're only plus 1, so pretty much money line pick. I think that Chubb is going to run all over them. They're just coming off a bye. I like teams coming off a bye. Saints, I mean, if it wasn't for a young Hoku missing a bunch of field goals, they had no business winning that game. They have no Olave. I know they screwed me last week when I picked the Falcons, but really it was the kicker who screwed me. But yeah, I'm going with the Browns. I think Chubb has a big game.
Fair enough, Nas.
So I'm going to start off with the Chiefs, plus 2, plus 2.5.
Yep.
Scott, you said it the best.
That's the only thing I've ever been right about, right? Like, I told you this a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
Never
you did.
pick against the best player in the game in any sport when they're plus money. Go on now.
I'm gonna go Commanders plus 3.5. I like this Commanders.
Let's be for real. If the Chiefs were -2, you still would pick them. So
I would stay away from that game.
Let's stop.
I would stay away from that game. I wouldn't even touch that game. Swear to God.
I would pick them, but that's me.
I wouldn't touch it.
But give me the Commanders. I got them at 3.5. I like this young Commanders team to go into Philly on a short week, handle business. Just coming off a loss to Pittsburgh, I like them to handle business. And my last pick, you guys know what it is. Give me Baltimore -3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 against the Pittsburgh
-3.
All right.
Okay.
Baltimore -3.
I thought you were going with the Patriots when you said you know what it is.
Nah, the Rams scare me a little bit.
We'll get to Tim last. We're gonna go with me, the basement dweller. First pick, the Kansas City Chiefs plus 2.5. Same reasoning. Never bet against Patrick Mahomes. If I had $5,000 for free, I would put the $5,000 on the Chiefs to win about $7,000, just because that's where you make your money. Patrick Mahomes plus money. Also, too, what's weird is I don't think the Chiefs really care about this game because they're going to meet them in the playoffs anyway in Kansas City. I think this game means a lot more for the Bills, but still give me the Chiefs plus 2.5. Green Bay -5.5 at Chicago. Chicago's terrible. Green Bay's coming off a bye after a loss at home to the Lions. And I've been riding with the Packers all year, and they've done well for me. So give me Green Bay -5.5. Last game, 2 weeks in a row, Nas. I'm going up against you. I think it's time for the Eagles to put a stamp on this division and let Washington know, listen, buds, this is kind of a fluke year. You'll be here next year, but this is our time again. I don't think Washington's ready for this game. I think the Eagles win 24-20, 27-23. They can't cover the 3.5. They don't deserve to fucking win. If Sirianni doesn't make boneheaded fucking mistakes, I think the Eagles just stomp Washington on Thursday night. They are my Super Bowl pick, so I am riding high with Philly right now, as much as I despise them. So give me the Eagles -3.5 up against Nas. Tim, prove your worth big time. Go.
Oh, I will. So, first of all, how's your Jordan Love autograph card working? That's looking pretty good, huh?
Yeah,
Your little rookie card?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were right on that too. It's not just about Mahomes. Let me start off. I'm with Nas. I got the Ravens -3 against the Steelers. Steelers, some of their wins against the Jets, the Raiders, the Giants. Like, come on now.
Those are not divisional games, though.
It's one thing to beat up on those people. It's another thing to beat up on Lamar Jackson and that run game. I don't know. Give me the Ravens -3.
I still don't know how Dallas went into there and won that game. Like, it boggles my mind. Sorry, go on.
No worries. And then I got 2 over-unders. I didn't hear anyone pick those. I feel like Sir would pick over-unders, but apparently Sir had his own picks. Thanks for that. But I got the over on the Lions and the Jags. Lions putting up 36 points a game. Even though it's Mac Jones, I still think Mac Jones can muster up 2 touchdowns for the over.
What's the over?
47. Sorry. No, I just over 0. Yeah,
you
they're
lost
gonna score
it,
some
bro.
points.
You haven't done this in a while.
Sorry, man. And then the other over is the Chiefs Bills over 45.5. Bills are going to score their points 27. Say KC never loses big. It's always under a touchdown. So 27-24 gets you over.
All right, Tim, that's good. Well, we'll see if Tim could.
7-24. Who wins then?
Yeah, who wins, Tim? Who you got?
I said the Bills win.
All right. Hey, Tim.
KC has to lose eventually. This is the game that makes most sense.
They're gonna lose at home when everybody picks them in their elimination pool to like the shitty Raiders.
Like they should have lost last week.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. All right, let's get to our fantasy sleepers. Sir is going with Cedric Tillman from the Browns at 5,300. He said the guys put up 18 points the last 3 weeks, so that's him. I will move on. I'm going to go back to the well with Mike Williams after his big catch, 4,100 for Pittsburgh. Boy, that must have stung for the Jet fan, too. That's sort of rubbing it in, you know? Mike, go on.
I'm going to stick with the 49er receivers that I picked last week with the Pearsall, but I'm not going to go Pearsall. I'm going to go Jennings for 5,300. I think it's Juwan Jennings.
Yeah.
Seattle sucks. I think I should have probably picked San Francisco -6 on that, but stayed away. But yeah, I think Jennings has a big game.
Nas, no price Nas. Go on. Nas never has a price.
I don't have a price.
So
but
the one day he actually picked Marvin Harrison, and we were like, dude, that's not how this works.
I'm gonna go with Noah Brown from the Commanders. I think they put Slay over there on McClure, Scary Terry tomorrow. So I think Noah Brown will work the slot and get some big catches and yards.
I'm
Maybe
gonna venture to say he's probably only like 4,200. So, yeah. Tim, who you got?
So I'm running 3,800 with Matt Collins from the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
went 4 for 80 last week. No Keon Coleman. Amari Cooper is still iffy, even if he does come back. They're gonna have to score some points against the Chiefs to be in the game. So 3,800, little cheap dart.
I think Mike's gonna ask you to come on every week. You're a Bills apologist here.
Tim, I hope you win, man. I hope you win.
All right, Mike.
No problem.
You won last week with your Ricky Pearsall pick, where the guy had a crazy touchdown where you reached in the end zone 10 weeks after getting shot in the chest, by the way. So happy to see him out there. If I got punched in the chest, I wouldn't play anymore. I'd be like, I'm out. All right, Mike, who you got for your thumbs up, thumbs down pick since you won the fantasy sleeper?
Yeah, well, you kind of ruined my thumbs up. My thumbs up was Pearsall for getting shot. And he's actually playing really well right now with no Ayuk out for the year. And Debo's always banged up. I think he's going to continue getting better every week. And, after almost like centimeters away from getting killed with the bullet, would have went anywhere else close to his, I think it was in his chest, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, now he's back and playing football like 10 weeks later. It's just an unbelievable story. And I'm happy for the kid. I think he does good things in this league. Thumbs down. I probably have to go with the Jets, man. They were, touted as I told them. I told you they were probably win the division this year in week 1. But how have they lost to the Cardinals and all the other teams they've lost to, the Broncos, and it's just really embarrassing. I mean, I've seen these Jets fans with paper bags over their heads and did not think we were going to see that in the beginning of the season. It's just crazy how downward spiral they're on.
Yeah, all right. That's thumbs up, thumbs down. Tim.
I fucking take back everything I said about Buffalo. Let's go Mahomes. Go KC.
And I hope
Flip in my pick.
No catches. All right, Tim, you'll get a random wheel and a random question today. Gun to your head, how far do you think you can make an actual field goal with no rushes and me just holding it?
When you did this in middle school and you had to kick it over the 7-foot fence, I could never do that. I don't know that I physically could kick a field goal. It doesn't matter how far away. If I had to guess, maybe a 20-yarder I can get up and in. I don't know. So
from the 10-yard line, you could get it up and in.
Probably.
Okay, fair enough. Nas, favorite pizza topping?
Chicken.
Damn, Buffalo chicken. You were quick on that. All right, Mike, if you had to walk around in a uniform for the rest of your life, would you rather walk around in a baseball uniform or a football uniform?
It could be like a throwback jersey?
Yeah, sure.
I'd probably say baseball.
With cleats and everything. All right, well, that's a
Scott, yes. you get one. Dak or Shador?
Dak.
Okay.
But no. Next year, Shador. I want Shador. Next year, I want Shador and Deion. That's what I want. All right, guys. Have a good day. Goodbye.